Welcome back. Back here in southern Connecticut doing a little more training and testing with the Turtleback trailer. I gotta tell you, this weather, it's August 28th. It's phenomenal. 50 degrees at night for sleeping's best. 70-ish and during the day, sunny most of the time. Of course, make a liar out of me now, all the clouds are rolling in. That's okay, it's better for filming anyway. So I thought I would bring you up to date on our big adventure. Got a number the other day from the owner of Provan. They're the people that are going to actually modify the truck when they get it. They take the bed off and they put the coach on. And he emailed me and he said he had a number. He had a number from General Motors, and that number was designated to a vehicle. And that vehicle, when they get that number, it means that that vehicle's been put on a train and it has been shipped. Yay! So we have a number. That means our vehicle is on a train and being shipped from the manufacturer, I believe in Indiana. Now, the other little tantalizing bit of information that he gave me was that when they get a number like that, it usually means 7 days and they get the truck. So between the time they get the number, 7 days later, they're probably going to have the truck. So today's the 28th. It was Thursday when I got the email last week. So the 31st is probably going to be when we'll know. I mean, I'm sure there's a few days, give or take, and right now we're in the middle of a tropical storm, Hurricane Harvey kind of thing. So I don't know how that affects things in terms of how it comes across the country. For all I know, it might already be in South Carolina, but you never know. So Thursday or Friday of next week, we should have a little bit of more information on the truck. But the good news is we know it's been built. We know that it's on a train. At the very least, it's left Indiana in the last few days. So we should have some pictures for you actually in the next week or two when it gets to Provan of the truck itself, before and after they pull the bed off of it, because I asked the owner to do that, so I can't wait to see those. The other piece of news that's pretty big is sort of directly related to the whole adventure is my wife is going to retire after 26 years in the restaurant business on the 31st of August, this coming Thursday. Boy, talk about, you know, a coincidence. 31st, we should have the truck down at Provan in South Carolina, and 31st is when she retires. Go figure. So anyway, so big exciting news. So I thought I'd share that with you. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the solar system. A big part of boondocking is trying to be self-sufficient, trying to be sustainable all by yourself. So a big part of that is power. I mean, we're gonna require electric power, or electric power for the laptops, the digital cameras, the video cameras, you know, music if we want to play it, all those nice things to have. But we're also going to need power for the things that run our day-to-day lives in terms of our systems, whether it's water pumps, gas-fired hot water heaters, lights to see by, things of that nature. So both the Tiger and the Turtle will have their own electrical systems, including a battery bank and charger controllers and things of that nature. But at some point in time, you have to recharge the batteries on each of those vehicles, whether it's the Tiger or the Turtle. So how do you do that if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you don't have a hookup? You really don't want to use a generator unless you absolutely have to. How would you add power to those batteries? After a while, they're going to drain down, and they can only drain so far. Well, as far as the Turtle is concerned, or the Tiger, we're going to use solar panels. The Tiger will have 3 fixed solar panels on its roof, and the Turtle has none. There's no option to buy a Turtleback trailer with solar panels installed on it. It's just not practical. You have a tent on top, you have limited quote-unquote real estate on the top of the vehicle to do that. you can have it done if you don't have a tent, or you can supplement your power charging using a roll-up solar panel or whatever. So you can do that. It's just not something that's fixed to the object itself. So we chose the Renogy 100-watt solar suitcase. It's very portable, comes in a nice semi-hard shell zippered suitcase cover, so that when they're folded up, all the wires and everything are stowed nicely away, and then we can tuck it inside the storage compartment. But this is what we're going to use to charge the battery bank that I'll show you in a second on the Turtleback trailer, and how that sort of works. The only problem was when I bought this, and this is all, again, going back to that thing I said earlier in an article about research, you learn so much and you think you've learned enough, but then you run into a bump in the road and you learn a little more. Well, I bought this setup. It's very portable, very high quality, but it had a charge controller built into the back of the panel. Now what that does is it takes electricity from the panels, and as it reduces it or regulates it, so whatever goes into your battery, it doesn't get in, it doesn't put too much in or too little in. But the problem with that is if I hooked it up to the outlet on the Turtleback trailer has a controller too. So the two controllers would be just looking at each other and like, I don't know, what do you want to do? And then nothing would get done. So I had to find a way to take this controller, at least temporarily, out of the loop and put power directly in there. And I'm going to show you how I did that in 2 seconds. Okay, so this is the Renogy Suitcase portable solar panels. They're 100 watts, which is really nice. I'm going to bend this forward a little bit. Let's see if we can figure out. I'm not going to bore you with too many of the details, but basically, this is the controller. This is one junction box from one panel. This is another junction box from the other panel. And the way it was when I got it was these two wires that I'm holding here were basically tied directly to the solar controller, and then the output from the solar controller came through these two wires here. Well, like I said, you couldn't hook it up to the Turtleback trailer that way because the two controllers would fight each other and nothing would get done. So I essentially cut the wire here from the positive side of the one side of the panel, negative on the other side, put a few connectors on it, ran a few cables back to the trailer so that basically I'm powering it directly from the panels. The input is there, comes through, I don't know if you can see that there, it comes across into my solar controller there, which I don't know if is in focus or not, and then it charges the two batteries here. So anyway, that's how we get our batteries charged. There is an inverter here as well. So the other day I was running the rice cooker. I had the solar panels out, so it was charging the batteries, and the batteries in turn were powering the inverter, which in turn was cooking my rice. So turtle powered solar rice, I guess. All right, so now you know how we get solar.